of being a proud Indian, or being a proud Bharatiya, Bharat Mata ki Jai, something that we'll not hear at a Congress rally, and importantly saying that Hanuman, aaj Mangalwar hai, Hanuman has blessed us. So you leave no space for your opponent to target you, whether on Hindutva or nationalism.
See, what has been the two strong pillars of Mr. Modi's ideology and his narrative? One is nationalism, another is Hindutva. What Arvind Kejriwal just said, he said, Bharat Mata ki Jai, Vande Matram. Like, once you said Bharat Mata ki Jai, now no Modi can question his integrity as a nationalist. So that is sorted. Now he's saying, कि Hanuman ji के आशीर्वाद से हम जीत गए हैं. Now that part is also taken care of. Where we have a problem, the problem is when this narrative gets merged with hatred, venom. When you start showing your color that you hate Muslims or you hate minorities, I think as long as this cultural thing is there, I think it's going on the right track. But my worry is that if it takes another tangent, like what the Modi his BJP does, that everything becomes an anti-minority, everything becomes anti-Muslim. Like Shaheen Bagh was projected so much because it has a narrative which its foundation is on the anti-minoritism. Okay. That's what the problem is.
JP Nadda, the BJP chief, is speaking. He said that he respects the people's verdict. Mr. Nadda, very affable man, just become the BJP chief minister, BJP president a few weeks ago. Do we have him on audio? Okay, this is a statement, but very interesting in that Arvind Kejriwal rally was the family picture, Preeti, as you pointed out. Son going to IIT, daughter who works now with a consulting group in Gurgaon, and his wife who was also taking the blessings of the crowd. It's her birthday today. You think that was also a conscious picture? Again, part of this photo op that is so important to the clever communicator.
An epitome of being the middle class family right in front of you. You know, if images talk, this is huge because you're flanked with your wife. You invoke your wife. It's not that you cast her aside. You say, Sunita ka aaj birthday hai, so everybody wishes her. Then the kids come out front. So this is the epitome of the middle class family, which is Delhi. Your aspirations are right there. You know, you aspire for the same things. You find commonality in that. And when you talk about about all the signage of being a Hindu, Rajdeep, the biggest scheme which I thought worked so well with the middle class religious aspiration was free Tirath Yatra. So this was a man who,
Were there
is a
people
family
who told
man.
you when you were traveling around that Kejriwal ne hame Tirth Yatra
Of course, so, and for them, and those are the people usually, because I have now covered the elections I have covered, there's a dyed-in-wool Modi voter. And he's this middle-class old man who will always, religious aspirations are huge with them. So when the same man who's voted Modi in 2019 is saying, Kejriwal ne Tirath Yatra karai hai and free karai hai.
Right.
So for him, it's again an endorsement of that. So he's been working on his Hindu vote. There's a reason why he did this.
See, Rajdeep, I can tell you from my experience in 2015, when I was contesting the parliamentary elections in Chandni Chowk, I was confronted by more than 100 people who came to me and said, "You are a nice person. Arvind Kejriwal is a nice person. AAP is a good party of honest people. But this time, we'll vote for Modi. In assembly election, we vote for you. Certainly, we'll vote for you." So that was very clear in their mind. So, and that voter is not a rabid Hindutva voter in that sense. That voter likes a decisive leadership. That voter likes wants a corruption-free society. And that's why there is a similarity between Mr. Modi and Arvind Kejriwal. The point is, when this hatred things gets into that.
Right. You want to respond to that Ajit, that, what we are seeing is Kejriwal now positioning himself as if not an alternative to Mr. Modi as yet at a national level, but certainly someone with a distinct persona, wherein he can offer potentially a kind of alternate narrative to the one that the BJP offers. In every speech he said today, हमारा मोहल्ला clinic की जीत है, स्कूलों की जीत है, that evoking that education, health will be the answer to the politics of religion.
That's right, Rajdeep. In fact, he's the face of the modern Indian in many ways. The one who takes pride in the fact that the children go to IIT, that he himself went to IIT, that he was an allied officer, that he actually fought for RTI. He sort of contributed to the community. So there is this modern family man. So there's this modern element, and yet what Ashutosh was pointing out, I would argue that he's trying to rescue what we would call the Gandhian notion of Hinduism. which is Raghupati Raghav Raja Ram Patita Pavan Sita
So
Ram.
the cultural Hindu.
So the cultural Hindu in that sense, without, as Ashutosh pointed out, it doesn't have malice towards any community, and that is the notion of Hinduism, right? Tolerance, acceptance of everyone.
So what can we expect in the next few years? Can we expect Arvind Kejriwal to make a bid for Punjab, for Goa, all the states that he looked at as potential growth centers, or will he stick to Delhi, Ashutosh?
I think now it will be very difficult for him to cross the boundary. It will be very difficult.
Difficult for him.
He had a chance in 2015 because I had personally been to different, in fact, as far as Kerala. And I had addressed a rally of more than 1,000 people. And far away in Odisha, people were there. And I still remember that when Arvind has gone to the
Manish Sisodia shank baja rahe hain. Khushi ka shank kehte hain ise. Shanknath.
So, I was
bataiye.
really surprised to know when Arvind had gone to the Una when this Dalit beating happened. Then Mamata Banerjee has called up Arvind Kejriwal and said, can you organize 200 people so that at least I'm not... So even a leader of that stature didn't have any presence and any supporter in Gujarat. But Arvind, when had gone Una, at most 2 kilometers on both the sides of the people waving at him.
You don't think that can happen again?
I don't think that's happened. Unless
That's
there's some
interesting
miracle.
that you're saying that he will find it much more difficult in his second innings to expand.
Raji, just 30 seconds. What has happened? He has lost that moral capital.
So he's won an election but may not have changed the political culture that he hoped to change.
Not in that.
My question is, can he bring the different disparate elements of the so-called Mahagathbandhan that seems to be emerging at times? Can he bring them together? Like, for example, Naidu tried, or like someone like...
there would be a huge question mark. But yes,
Can I add from my own experience of the Jan Morcha movement? If there is grievance building, what does this show you? He could have done his governance, but still it wouldn't have got him till here. The fact that there was a grievance building even against what the center had done. Now, if those fault lines are being picked up in the states, if there is a way that existing mobilizations can be aligned with, then Arvind can be a mobilizer or someone who can kickstart. But the rural areas is where I think there is still a greenhorn and doesn't understand. With the youth, with the unemployed, semi-urban, he would still be a great hit, but I don't think he'll be able to cross the rural barrier where peasant-specific issues and caste matters a lot. And that's where I think he's the real catch still lies.
I remember I covered the Punjab election when he was, when he made a bid for Punjab. And I would think if I could only, with my limited experience of Punjab, with that election, the only biggest issue was, who's the face? Arvind Kejriwal to chief minister nahi banega na aake. So that was their biggest thing. So who's your face in Punjab? If you have to, enter Punjab, then you have to enter it with some other face other than Arvind Kejriwal. Arvind Kejriwal can support a face in Punjab. But who are you fighting the election on?
Okay, I think we've talked enough. We've had a talkathon from the early morning. Road show is about to begin. Those are the images that will dot every newspaper headline today. Arvind Kejriwal waving to the crowds. It's been a rout at the end of the day, a sweep, because 63 has played 7. And we'll bring you all the data as the evening proceeds. For now, it's all the color of the election campaign. We've also shaken a leg, not because of Kejriwal's victory, but because India Today Axis got the poll right. Many people on Twitter are saying, why is an anchor shaking a leg? Are you so happy? I am happy when we get the poll right. If Mr. Modi wins in Gujarat and my poll is spot on, don't worry. I'll happily shake a leg then as well. Mujhe koi dikkat nahi hai to dance and have Kaju Katli in particular. On that note, on that sweet note, thank you all very much. Those are the images, the Chief Minister and his deputy. From the entire team at India Today, thanks for watching. Our coverage continues on this big day. Aapki Delhi. Bye for now. Are we ready with the music? Let's go, guys.
All right, this is quite...
Ajao, very good. We've had lunch, so we've come for the second round of music.
Spot on.
But this time, क्या है? जरा दिखाओ बराबर, दिखाओ एक बार फिर करो. Show me, what do you do?
I always say to my Axis My India team, big thank you to my Axis My India team. I was just waiting for music.
Ajay, where's the music here?
Music.
Please play the music.